Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another video, and this is another paid request for Joseph. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, or full playthrough, tier list ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. PayPal's the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for In the Line of Duty 3 from 1988. Starring Cynthia Khan, which might have been one of the first films she did that was of the action genre, Cynthia Khan. And the only other guy I recognize is that there's a Japanese cop, and he's a guy who was the original Kamen Rider from back in the day when they had the TV show. And from what I understand, in the other ones before, it was Michelle Yeoh in the Line of Duty stuff, so Cynthia Khan, she's a cop that's just joined the cops over here in this area that the movie takes place in, and we see what she could do. There's a purse snatcher, and she rips her skirt and beats the shit out of the guy, and the guy even grabs this other guy that was giving her shit before for a ticket, but she's able to fuck him up and be able to show her moves, be able to show what she can do. It's a good, strong first impression for the lead in that Hong Kong action style way. I don't want to give all the details away because it's much better to watch it than me trying to explain it, but it's a nice first impression. So while we have that introduction to the character, we have the introduction to the story, where there's this fashion show. In the midst of it, these two thieves, a man and a woman, go in and they just go with guns ablazing. This is a movie where the bad guys don't give a fuck about collateral damage, which makes sense because if they're bad guys, if they're fine with murdering, if they're fine with killing, then yeah, they would just blast into the crowd and not care who they hit. So I can appreciate that because that makes it more logical in that fashion. Plus, you do get a lot of squibs, and definitely it felt more of a vicious, violent movie than some of the other In the Line of Duty movies that I had seen. This seemed a bit darker. This seemed a bit, again, more kind of visceral, violent in a way. So they shoot the shit out of the cops, civilians, they steal the jewelry, they escape. This Japanese guy, I forget his name, so I'm going to call him Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider and his partner go chase after them. Now, his partner grabs the girl, and then the Japanese cop is grabbing his partner. Now, why he didn't just take his gun and shoot the woman in the head? Because she killed, with her partner, dozens and dozens of cops and people. Just shoot her in the head so she stops squirming, so your partner can stop being pulled more and more under. Just shoot her in the fucking head. I mean, you're able to shoot over here to keep the guy at bay, but then shoot her in the head. But, then there wouldn't be much of a movie. So, of course, the killer, the male partner, sees that the cop is between his Japanese partner and the woman hanging on to him. So the guy gets shot, killed. She gets with her partner, they get away. The cop that's been shot falls, he dies. And Kamen Rider wants revenge on the death of his partner. And you don't really see Cynthia Khan for a while. Or at least it feels like a while. Because then it focuses more on the two thieves, which actually they are trying to buy guns and other hardware for the Red Army. Because especially the guy is very adamant to serve the Red Army. And they also are, not only are they partners, but they're fuck buddies. They like to fuck. In fact, there's a sex scene. Someone described it as like a Paul Verhoeven sex scene, and yeah, it's fully naked, bouncing pretty hard. It seemed like almost like a scene from Showgirls, except Maybe a bit less rapey. Or maybe trying more of the, what was it, with Kyle MacLachlan, his sex scene, maybe more like that. But that's what, yeah. I didn't expect that because a lot of Hong Kong films don't really do that in terms of those kind of sex scenes, so it took me a bit aback, but they were definitely into it and definitely trying to be intense with it. These two thieves killers like to fuck. And fuck hard. That'd be like the porno. Die hard, fuck hard. Fuck harder. Fuck hard with a vengeance. Live free or fuck hard. A good day to fuck hard. Why haven't we gotten these porn? There you go. That'd be pornos. Those are porno titles for you. There you go. Have them for free. But they also screw over these people that they're trying to do this deal with, and they stab the guy's hand and shoot him in the head. They get on the boat and they blow up the boat behind them while they get away with what they're needed in order to serve and give to the Red Army. Meanwhile, Cynthia Khan finally gets back into the movie, and there's this raid where she's told to stay behind, but the guy who they were looking for, he sneaks away, but she finds him. And you get a pretty decent fight scene where she chases and beats up the guy. Nice, good choreography. Does it really make it seem as if they are trying to hurt each other? Less of a dance, and no, they really want to fucking hurt each other. I kind of a funny bit where there's this Jeep or vehicle which looks like there's some tires hanging on the back, and the guy grabs on, but then when the car drives away he realizes it was an advertisement standee for tires and stuff, so I thought that was kind of funny, and then she's able to beat him up and catch him. I thought that was kind of funny. And it's about halfway through the film where Kamen Rider himself and Cynthia Khan finally meet. He's over there, and they're just ditching, and she's supposed to show him around. So at one point, there's this club, and Kamen Rider recognizes the female killer. You have a bit of a shootout where some more civilians get killed, but they escape. He shoots with his big-ass gun that he has, fucks up some vehicles, maybe killed some people too, but they escape. And you go that whole, you're not supposed to have a gun here, you're going too far. They try to arrest him. He fakes being sick, so the one guy goes for help. When they come back, he's gone. He hid in the towel above the ceiling, so he makes his escape to get to the bad guys. So up until the last half hour, there's not a ton of action, but there's spots here and there that definitely showcase some decent choreography. Again, the Cynthia Khan has about 2 little fight scenes. There's a few shootouts here and there. There's the big one where the thieves get the jewelry, among other stuff. Well done. Nothing that was mind-blowing or anything, but it served its purpose. I remember thinking, man, it's disappointing that Cynthia Khan, this first, I would say 2/3 of the film, she didn't feel like she had a whole lot to do. There were points where she disappeared and stuff. But the last half hour or so, I think, made it worth a watch. It made it worthwhile. There's some good fight scenes in that, and some good intense moments. Which I'll get into spoilers now. But I would say this, I would say I liked films a la Tiger Cage 2. I probably liked In the Line of Duty 4, if that's the one I saw. I think with Donnie Yen. I liked that more than this one. Probably say I like Tiger Cage 2 more than this one. But I did like this overall. I did not mind it. Again, it had that bit of edge to it, which I appreciated. I thought Cynthia Khan did well. And again, like I said, the last 30 minutes, heavy spoilers. You have Kamen Rider himself and the male killer having this big fight where there's this boat, and they really feel like they're trying to kill each other. It's bloody, vicious, going back and forth until ultimately the one guy is set on fire and is caught. His lover, she tries to get him out. Cynthia Khan and them tries to stop. So the guy's body falls off, gets run over, and the remains is like there's blood and guts on the on the fucking road. Again, a little bit violent than usual for these kind of movies. It's not a category 3 Hong Kong style violence, but kind of in between. In the Line of Duty and a Hong Kong category 3, so it's kind of in between. So the female killer, female thief, she wants revenge on Cynthia Khan for what happened to her beau. Just, I mean, hey, I guess when your beau's guts are along the fucking street trying to be its own fucking paint. I mean, I've heard of paint the town red, but this is not the way they intended it. Yeah, I guess I'd be pissed too. So she has this other guy with her to try to help her out, and they try to kill her, but Cynthia jumps out of the way, shoots at the vehicle. Some, decent bits of stunt work there. This, I got a kick out of, I will admit. There's a bit where there's a toy helicopter, and they're using it for like surveillance. Well, they're looking with binoculars at first, and all the people we want are in that room. There's kind of the captain, which I guess is Cynthia Khan's uncle, because she does call him uncle. There's Cynthia Khan, there's the Japanese guy, and someone else. But most of them leave by the time they fly the helicopters. It's only the chief, the uncle, however you want to put it. And so this toy helicopter comes in, goes to the room, and blows up the whole room. It makes you think of, I think it was Death Wish 5, where you had the remote control plane or helicopter and it blows someone up. I think it was that one. No, it was a soccer ball. No, and that one was a soccer ball. What was I thinking of? Was it the Shadow Conspiracy with Charlie Sheen? Might have been that one where they tried to kill people with a toy plane. There was a movie where they tried to kill people with a toy plane. I can't remember. It might have been The Shadow Conspiracy. Although that wasn't a good movie, but I thought I got, like, what? I don't know. But I like the fact they're using a toy helicopter for a bomb. That was a bit of a novel idea. Unique. Then pretty much you get to the finale. Now, one thing I thought was kind of lame was, they try to build up this Japanese cop. So when him and Cynthia Khan arrive, there's a trap where the bad guys drop this boulder or whatever. So he pushes her out of the way. It falls. I guess killed him. Now, you see him kind of like, ugh. I thought he was like knocked out bleeding, but no, he's dead. So I'm like, I thought that was kind of a lame way to kill the person off, but okay. I was a bit surprised he died to begin with, but to be fair, Hong Kong films do have a tendency to do that. I mean, look at what was the original cut of Riding Ron's, where both the lead cops die? Cynthia Rothrock and the other guy? It's like, Jesus. But so sometimes Hong Kong films, they didn't give a fuck. So yeah, I mean, you give credit to that, where a bit more surprising, maybe a little less predictable. And then, but Cynthia Khan versus these two, the female killer and the guy that was with her. And I thought this was easily the best scene in the movie. Because then you really get the hard hitting choreography. They really feel like they want to kill each other, and they're using wrenches and is in this workshop, and the hits feel painful and impactful when they get slammed or steam gets blasted in their face or they're dodging stuff and it's like this close from being hit. And like I said, you really feel the intensity. You really feel the intensity. And the death scenes, one guy tries to drill Cynthia Khan and she does this and gets his head in the way. Now you don't see an up close, but it cuts away and you see a splat of blood. Now, granted, if it actually showed the drill going in like a slasher film, then I'd be like, oh shit. But I'm like, it's still implied and still nasty. Compared to other Hong Kong action films, nasty enough. And then you have woman versus woman fight. Nice choreography. I'm greedy. I wish it was a bit longer. But you really get the feeling that they want to kill each other. So then the bad girl has a bomb and she's able to get her, throw her through like a window or something, get away, and then blow up. You don't get to see her body blow up, but you get the idea that she blew up. And then everything's fine and done. The bad guy's dead, or in this case, the girl's dead. The movie's over. It doesn't overstay its welcome. So that's what I mean. It has a bit more of that darker edge to it, a little bit more of that feeling of brutality to it. A lot of civilians getting killed. The way the bad guys get killed, a little bit more violent than usual. I wish Cynthia Khan had a little bit more to do in the first half. I wish they could have done a bit more with the Japanese character in the second half of the film. I wish he could have been incorporated with the finale fight. But I guess they figure, well, he had the fight with the guy, I'm on the boat, so his job is done. And so eventually he'll get taken care of. There you go. He doesn't need to be part of the movie anymore, just kill him. But I guess it does up the stakes of the villains, so to speak. So give credit to that. It was a decent watch. I would say that the last 30 minutes made it worthwhile. I don't love the film. Again, I don't mind Cynthia Khan. Her character is pretty underdeveloped. Like, you really don't get to know much of anything about her character. She's on the force. She gets this purse snatcher. Then you don't really see much of her until the police raid. And there's really no backstory to her. There's really no other life that she leads, apparently. No boyfriends, nothing of the sort. So she's kind of an underdeveloped character. Even the Japanese guy, all you know that he wants revenge for the death of his partner. That's it. So when the action's not on screen, it's not the most invigorating movie. You know, the two villains did fine. Again, surprising to see them have a big old, almost violent sex scene. You know, at least it was intense enough. So there's that. But yeah, the last 30 minutes in the Cynthia Khan versus the female bad guy fight, that was definitely worth a watch. That was good to watch. So overall, I did like the film. I did like it. I think it did get a Blu-ray, by the way, too, for those interested. Let me check real quick. In the Line of Duty 1988 Blu-ray review. So yeah, In the Line of Duty 1 through 4 had a release. Was it Vinegar Syndrome? Well, 88 films. 88 films. Royal Warriors I did enjoy. I would say I liked that more than this one. That was really good. So I would say probably Royal Warriors, probably my favorite so far. Which Michelle Yeoh was in that. Yeah, in the Line of Duty 3, even it says here, it's definitely not quite Category 3 Hong Kong, but it's like going in that direction. So it has a different feel than some of these other movies. I'm trying to see if there's any features on this. Sorry, that's why I'm doing about this. I'm so sorry about the silence. Okay, yeah, go to the disc. Commentary by Frank Jane and Michael Worth. Interview with John Sham, an actor producer. Trailer, Hong Kong, English trailer, another English trailer, and okay, so just really just a commentary and then one interview. Well, that's disappointing that it's only one interview and it's not really with any of the stars. So I guess if you just want the film or you just want there you go. But yeah, that's my thoughts of In the Line of Duty 3. I'd probably say Royal Warriors and the fourth one I like more, but I can appreciate how this tried to be a bit different and a bit grittier, bloodier of a feel to it compared with some of the others. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.